Yeah, that's wishful thinking.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Wishful Thinking podcast. We have a special treat for you today, but as always, I want to say thank you to everybody at home. You got Nick and Hadley behind the booth. We got my guy, Ben Sulka, here today.
Ben Sulka.
So we got a
Thank
special
you.
treat. Just want to say thank you to everybody for watching and everybody who's always, continued support, the likes, the comments, the subscribers. It goes a very long way. So without further ado, Ben Sulka, you are the owner of SulkaSearch.
Yes, sir.
You are a digital marketing agency. Is that
Yes. Paid ads
Ohio?
focused. Yes.
Okay, so before we get into your business, before we get into what you do and everything, we always go chronologically.
Let's do it.
So tell us about your upbringing. Where'd you go to high school?
Sure. So I went to Chardon High School, but first I want to say thank you guys for having me on the show. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure, man.
After meeting you guys a year ago at a race that's actually coming up here in a couple of days again.
That's crazy. It's like full circle almost.
But the networking stuff is huge, so still blessed to be connected with you guys, and I appreciate you having me on.
Of course, man.
But I did go to Chardon High School, yes, and I graduated in, May of 2019. So honestly, 6 years ago, still relatively fresh
You graduated
out.
high school in 19, so you're what,
Yeah.
24?
24 and a half.
I
Yeah.
graduated 2017 from Nordonia.
Nordonia, okay.
2018, Bedford.
Okay. I'm not too far.
No, we were
No, same age.
Yeah.
So what he was talking about is we met Ben a year ago at a 10K race in Akron. If you watched the Santino podcast that dropped, a little bit ago, we mentioned in that podcast how we met this dude, Ben. This guy's a beast. We were just there at this race. Hallie and I were training our butts off for this race.
grinding like
We did a
torturously.
10K, and Ben complimented me on my hat, and we became boys after that. So
'cause
networking is
what
always
hat
key.
did you have on?
I had the MAGA hat on.
In Akron. Which is lit.
I got a few comments. They're like, dude, you got balls to wear that in Akron. I'm like, why? So we
Other
met
people
Ben.
said something about
Other
it
people
too?
said stuff about
That's
it.
hilarious.
They said, you got balls for wearing that hat in Akron. This was like right before the election. This was like,
So wait, we met up in the morning before the race, huh? We all got there like super early.
Dude, yes.
We were just standing around in the freezing cold. I was freezing.
It was cold too. And when you're
like, short
before a
shorts.
race, like you're nervous and stuff like that too. So you're like kind of already.
yeah, like we
shaking a
were
little
there
bit.
like 4 or 5 a.m.,
Yeah.
something super early. And Ben,
And they were blasting music. You remember that?
yeah,
You guys
oh,
remember
yeah,
that?
It was cool as hell.
It was cool. They definitely had
It was at the Goodyear racetracks. So you ran around the Goodyear performance track, and then you ran through the city of Akron.
Mm-hmm.
He did a half marathon. We did a 10K. He complimented us on our hat, and we became boys ever since. And now we're sitting here on the Wishful Thinking podcast.
Yes, sir. Full circle.
So Chardon High School. Where'd you go to college?
I went to college my first year at Bowling Green State University.
Oh, you went
so
to
for 1 year, in 2019, and then I transferred over to Cleveland State.
Okay.
Get closer to family. My fiance also went. My now fiance went to Cleveland State as well. BG, dude, moving to the city was one of the best decisions I ever made in terms of like networking opportunities too.
Yeah.
Like no disrespect to BG, but there wasn't really too much to do there outside of like get wasted on the weekend. That's
pretty
like
much what it is.
that's really all it is.
Like, known for that.
Yeah.
100%.
So wanted to move on from that and started going to Cleveland State, and the rest is history, man. Everything's been fantastic since making that decision.
So leading into SulkaSearch, a digital marketing agency.
Yes.
What courses did you take, both in high school and college, that led you to wanting to do this and pursuing this passion?
It's funny that you say that because honestly, I couldn't tell you. And the courses themselves pale in comparison to the actual experience of like getting out there and doing something. So I always knew I wanted to get an internship or some sort of part-time job in marketing. And I started working for this really, really, really small agency, and the role was a marketing associate. So there's like, we want you to help us with marketing, but we don't really know what we want you to do yet.
Right.
And they kind of threw me into this role where I was managing Google Ads accounts for some really, really small businesses, literally spending like $10 a day in ad spend. And then from there, went to another agency, worked there for a year, got more paid ads experience. So really started in the Google Ads space, then went into Facebook and Instagram, which is now Meta, Amazon and TikTok as well. So really developed that paid media skill set. And then I'm like, let's keep doing this. Then when I graduated, I started working for Cleveland Clinic.
Oh, so you were doing all this while in school?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All those two previous experiences were while I was in school.
Okay.
Yeah. So balancing that with coursework and everything like that
At
was good.
Cleveland Clinic, you were doing marketing for them?
Yeah, so I helped manage their Google Ads account with a really large New York-based agency. So, 7-8-figure budget for a year just on Google Ads and helping the agency manage that. So it was some really, really good experience and got to do some really big projects.
So let me ask you this. You compare a small company spending $10 a day on ads to Cleveland Clinic spending 7 or 8-figure budgets. The focus of marketing is to get in front of people.
Sure.
when you are a small business, you want to get in front of as many people as possible.
Absolutely.
With a name like Cleveland Clinic, it's so recognizable.
Yep.
Why are they spending so much money on ads?
It's a great question. And we did like what was called incrementality testing while we were there. Like we would pull out of markets deliberately and say, if we stop advertising there, will people still go to Cleveland Clinic and would our numbers drop? And it was actually funny that we would run a year-long test and numbers actually did drop. So even though that brand presence is there, the brand equity is there, people are aware of the brand, when you're not constantly advertising to them and being there, your competitors are going to be there. So when someone types something in, let's say like heart treatment in Cleveland on Google, University Hospital's ads are going to pop up. So whether someone is in the Cleveland Clinic insurance network or whatever it may be, you still want to show up for that placement regardless, especially if you're not showing up there organically.
So being front of mind.
You have to be top of mind all the time, 100%, or your competitors are going to be the one who ends up taking that place.
Makes perfect sense. Because the search engine, they search anything, Cleveland Clinic wants to be the one that pops up.
100%.
Regardless.
So one thing that I have noticed, and maybe you could explain to the cameras at home, is SEO. Is there such a thing as reverse SEO? So like, is there?
Can you elaborate on what you mean?
So here's what I
gotta hear this.
This is some free game for everybody at home. You go and get an oil change, okay?
Yes.
You can go to like the big guys, Take 5, Valvoline, or whatever.
Sure.
So what I figured out through SEO is that if you go get an oil change and you search for a Valvoline coupon, you'll get a $7 off, a $10 off coupon.
Sure.
But then if you search the competitor, Take 5, so I will type in Take 5 coupon on Google. Now automatically a Valvoline coupon for 50% off pops up
Every time. I just
over
Really?
the Take 5.
It goes every time.
So my
Doesn't matter
question
how
to
many
you
times you do
is are they doing reverse SEO to where if I'm Valvoline and you're searching for my competitor, am I going to then give you this pop-up to take you away from my competitor?
So I want to clarify something. So by SEO, is what's popping up an advertisement or is it an organic listing?
It looks to be an ad.
Okay, so we're not talking SEO. SEO is organic. So SEO is non-paid. Paid ads, which is what you're seeing. If you see when you type something on Google for the people who are watching this and you see sponsored above it, that means it's a paid ad. That is not SEO. That's someone paying for that placement. So if you're typing in Valvoline, you said like Valvoline coupon, and the other company's Take 5, correct?
Yes.
Take 5 could set up an ad campaign in Google Ads for that keyword that you're searching. So they could they could pay for people who are searching Valvoline coupon or whatever and show their coupon at a steeper discount or whatever it is deliberately. So that's a marketing strategy that they realized, whatever their marketing team is or whatever they're doing, they realized that there's search volume for people looking for Valvoline coupons. So we're going to spend money on those keywords and show up and show that, hey, we're Take 5. We have a better discount. In terms of the offer or the service that's provided, we'll give you a better service and we'll give you a better discount.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So what were you going to say before I explained the reverse SEO?
So I was going to ask you to clarify, and that's what I was going to say, because a lot of people, just like you did, and there's nothing wrong with it at all, but people mix up SEO and paid advertising, and there's a big difference. SEO is terms of the things that you're actually doing on your website, blog posts that you're writing, technical aspects of your website, mobile loading speed, things like that Google rewards people for, rewards websites for, and they'll put their listing or their search engine results higher on the search results page because Google wants to make sure that people are having the best experience possible on the search engine because that reflects back on them. If someone's having a good experience on Google, they're going to come back to Google. Hey, I went to Google and I searched for something and I got what I wanted and had a great experience. Google wants to continue to emphasize that, which is why that happens. But there's a big distinction between paid and SEO because paid is you're paying to cut the line essentially above those organic listings.
What does SEO stand for?
Search engine optimization. Yeah, so you're optimizing the aspects of your website for the search engine essentially.
That's crazy.
Now, when you were in college, did you major in marketing?
Yes, I majored in marketing with a minor in professional selling. It was a digital marketing focus, so I did get a digital marketing certificate. So we had to take classes on things like Google Analytics, paid advertising. A lot of it was really, really high level, which is why I say the experience itself that really lets you get in the weeds and kind of make mistakes, figure crap out is what really allowed me to hone in on that skill set and realize that that's what I like. And I'm going to keep.
It's very high level. Like all
is.
the Google Analytics, meta analytics, all of that stuff I see why people pay these companies so much because it is a very specialized skill that not the average person can even comprehend.
100%.
I had to go through an 8-month battle with Google just to get listed on Google for my landscaping.
Did that get resolved, by the way? I know we were talking about that. So you have your Google My Business listing?
Finally got my
okay, good.
Finally
Shout out to Reliable Pros for local Clevelanders.
Appreciate that. I finally got my GMB, and then I had a friend of mine, Heba. She
God.
built me an entire website.
Okay, so that's done too.
So yeah,
Okay.
so we might have to connect and get some ads
will.
on it and stuff like that. But, so keep us pushing along here. You're doing stuff with Cleveland Clinic. How long did you work at Cleveland Clinic?
So I worked with Cleveland Clinic from July 2023, so a couple months after I graduated, until September of 24. Now, while I was at Cleveland Clinic is when I started the business in February of 2024.
Okay.
And just to be transparent, the reason that I initially started the business was because I was listening to a lot of finance podcasts, and I still do all the time.
Which ones?
The one I really like is called the Rich Habits podcast. It's like a personal finance podcast. I like it a lot, but they really helped me realize like how important investing is, especially early on.
Of course.
And I realized I wasn't really making enough money at Cleveland Clinic to have like some arbitrage between what my bills were and how much my take-home pay was to put towards investing, like maxing out my Roth IRA, all these important things, investing in the S&P 500, the NASDAQ.
Roth IRA buzzword. I don't think we've talked about that at all on this podcast.
Really?
So this is good.
Yeah, we haven't brought that up.
Let's segue into this because I have a Roth.
Amen.
I set up one for my brothers. Explain to us what a Roth IRA is.
So a Roth IRA is an individual retirement account. So when you are working for a company, you'll have a 401k or a 403b, which is what I had when I was at Cleveland Clinic. So an employer-sponsored retirement account, they kind of limit you in terms of what investments you have access to, things like that. And your employer will give you a match. So typically they'll say, we'll give you a 3% match if you invest 3% of your biweekly pay into this account. Will match 3%. What an individual retirement account is different. It's literally just that. It's an individual retirement account. And a Roth individual retirement account is tax advantage. So you pay the taxes now so that all of the growth compounds and you don't have to pay taxes later. So there's a traditional IRA, which is similar to a Roth IRA, depending on what brokerage platform you use. But with a traditional IRA, you pay the taxes later instead of paying them now. Yeah. So with a Roth IRA, and the max that you can contribute to a Roth IRA in 2025, I think, is $7,000. So
and they upped it to 75 for senior citizens.
So did they really? Okay, so good to know.
There's a higher level for.
I'll have to tell Granny. I'm not a senior citizen, but
no, we're not.
I'll have to invest an extra $500 when I am. But essentially, you, depending on what brokerage platform you use, I use Fidelity, for example, but you can also get one through Robinhood, Schwab, et cetera, Vanguard, places like that. But you can choose different investments that you want to invest into. I know you can invest into ETFs like S&P 500, NASDAQ 100. You can invest into cryptocurrency ETFs. There's so many different things that you can do. But the main advantage of the Roth is that you're paying the taxes now so that you don't have to pay them later when you liquidate. Oh, dude, the compounding.
People 100%. Don't understand the concept of compounding interest. If you can visualize an exponential graph, that is compounding interest. So
right.
You start off here, and then you just over time just gradually increase at such a steep rate that, I mean, the government limits it for a reason.
Right.
Anything the government limits, you should take full advantage of.
Yeah, totally agree. And if anybody is in front of their computer, or write this down, go to calculator.net. They have an investment calculator. The S&P 500, for example, returns an average of 8 to 12% per year. Let's say 10%. If you go into an investment calculator, and to max out your Roth IRA for a year, $7,000, which is like $580 a month or something like that. Go into calculator.net, find their investment calculator, and put in $583 per month over the next, let's say, 30 years, and look at what that amount is. It'll absolutely blow your mind, which is why it's so important to budget now and make sacrifices, especially financially, to put towards that, because you could build up a huge, monumental, like $4, $5, $6 million nest egg just by starting earlier.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So back to what we were talking about here. You finished Cleveland Clinic.
Yes, sir.
You started your marketing agency in February 2024.
I did.
Listening to podcasts.
Yes.
So why'd you start it?
I started it first off for that reason, because I wanted to have some financial arbitrage so I could invest, but also because, and I quickly realized this, that no matter what corporate job I'm at, there's always going to be a ceiling. And we were talking about this outside before the episode. Like, no matter how far up you get, it doesn't matter if you're the CMO of the company, you're always going to be capped at to some extent. And I'm the type of person, I've always been like this. I haven't necessarily always been entrepreneurial, but I want to be the arbiter of my own destiny. And I think that's the way to do it, is with entrepreneurship. So I'm like, I'm going to jump into this and do it full time. I'm going to figure it out. And I did it with Cleveland Clinic while I was at Cleveland Clinic until September. And then when I left Cleveland Clinic, I started working for another agency for about 6 months with the purpose of, okay, I know these skills. I want to further develop them, but I also want to see what it's like working for an agency to kind of get an idea for the employee feel, the client, relationships, things like that. So I worked there for another 6 months, and my salary at that company was significantly higher than Cleveland Clinic. So made more money there, got the skill set that I needed, and then finally in March, so 4 months ago, said, you know what, let's jump into this thing full time.
So you completely
100%,
got rid of
100%.
full-time work and just jumped in.
Yes.
That's the risk it takes, though.
That's the risk it takes.
You got to do that. You can't be scared.
So before we get into SulkaSearch and exactly what you're doing and so on and so forth,
Sure.
Walk me through taking that risk, because I'm personally in that point right now where I could go full swing in my job.
Yeah.
And be more than capable of being successful. And it's not that I'm afraid. I have a little bit different of a situation, but walk us through what's going through your mind with that risk, because you don't have kids.
Yes.
Right? You do have a fiance, soon to be
Yes.
wife.
Yep.
Is she working full time? Does she have her
is.
own job? Or
Yeah, she's a nurse at University Hospital, actually.
So
Yeah.
okay, so that right there is probably a huge thing off of your risk of being an
For sure.
entrepreneur. She has great bennies,
Yes.
so you don't have to worry about bennies.
Right.
A lot of people have to worry about benefits, and that's probably one of the biggest reasons people don't make that jump is
100%.
benefits.
Yeah.
So did that go through your mind at all when making this jump? Like, okay, I have this
Dude.
locked in.
100%. I was thinking of all of those factors, and I was like, okay, the age factor was the biggest thing. I'm like, I'm 24. The best time to do this is probably now, before I have children, all these other responsibilities that could come up and could be an excuse for me not to do it.
Yep.
So let's jump into it now. And the benefits was a huge thing as well. But knowing that until you're 26, if your parents have health insurance, you can still be on your parents' health and dental insurance. So I had that to take advantage of too. So I'm like, okay, I won't have to pay out of pocket for health and dental at least until I'm 26. That gives me a 2-year runway to kind of avoid those expenses as well. But the main thing that I would say that caused me to do it was just building massive self-confidence, honestly. Because I think a lot of people don't believe in themselves, but I think there's a justification for why a lot of people don't believe in themselves. I think it's because they haven't proven to themselves that they can do the things that they either think they can do or say that they can do, but actually haven't done yet. And I think the biggest way to build self-confidence is making promises to yourself and keeping them, and then continuing to do that over and over again. And it can be even the most minute things like, hey, dude, I set my alarm for 5 a.m. I got up out of bed at 5 a.m. and started my day. But as soon as you make that decision to snooze the alarm or whatever, and you break those promises to yourself, like subconsciously, you start to feel inadequate or feel like next time the alarm goes off, I'm going to do the same thing. And think about the way to build self-confidence is just proving to yourself that you can do something over and over again. And I personally needed that confidence to be able to make a decision like that, which is why I kind of dedicated myself to personal development, running, a lot of these things that are really important to me now, because I'm like, dude, I want to take my life and move it in this direction. But like other Ben is lagging behind. So I need like other Ben to catch up to where I want to be able to do that.
That is huge, actually. I really liked his take on that, because that's really, really true. Like, you're subconsciously putting yourself in a predicament to where, like you said, setting the alarm at 5 a.m. You do that. You've accomplished that goal for the day. You're already putting that into your mind, like, okay, I can do this. I can set a goal and I can accomplish it.
That's it.
And on the other end, it's like, yeah, you snooze the alarm. Now in your subconscious, you're going to go, oh, well, I didn't do that, or I didn't do this. And then that's going to psych you out almost subconsciously. Like, you won't even really know it. And then that goes along with the things of like what you say is what you manifest as well, too.
That's right.
Because doing and saying it's a one-way street.
That's facts.
You've got to be able to say something and do it. And don't, I'm a big believer on like, don't speak down about yourself ever or doubt yourself.
I agree with that.
Because as soon as you do that, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Dude, that's so true.
It's like, you have to be confident, like you said, but there's a difference between confidence and cockiness.
That's facts.
You got to go into it headstrong, but not oblivious to anything.
There's a lot of humility that goes into it. I would say
It's a chess
Humility
game.
is huge. Yeah.
faith for me is a big thing as well that allowed me to take that leap. Like, God put desires on my heart for a reason, so I'm going to pursue those desires. And there's going to be battles, and you have to be battle tested to, especially in entrepreneurship. It's like those promises are there, but I can't pursue them unless I go through these trials and tribulations.
Yeah, there's a reason that not everybody is an entrepreneur, because it is very tough.
Very tough.
You have to be able to wear multiple hats at one time. You have to have the grind to want success more than you want to sleep.
It's true. It's very true.
You know?
During that period when I was at Cleveland Clinic, and I've slowed this down now because I think there's a lot of balance that goes into it to a certain extent. But while I was working for Cleveland Clinic and then at this agency trying to build the business too, I mean, it was 60, 70, 80-hour weeks, which is tough when you have a relationship, when you have other responsibilities, you have a dog, you want to keep up with your family, all these other things, which is why I think some level of balance is important, because as you dive in more into the business, inevitably your resources and your time is finite. Yes. Right? So that's going to take away from the time you could be spending at the gym, the time you could
to give to the other.
Exactly. And I think there's a lot of balance that goes into that, but like during certain seasons there's certain things to focus on, and then other seasons there's other things to focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was very well put. I applaud you for that. And it reminds me,
Thanks,
you said that this Ben and then the other Ben. There was two versions of Ben.
Yes.
And I like that because a few years ago when everything I'm doing now has been premeditated for years. Yes, I knew I sold my first house in 2021. I knew that I would get into real estate. Now I have two houses, about my third.
Yes, sir.
I knew that I was going to have a podcast. So everything has been premeditated. So 2 or 3 years ago, I had in my apartment that I lived in, I had big, tall mirrors that were sliding, and they were big, giant mirrors. And I'm the type of guy to write all over my mirrors with an Expo. And on one of my things, it would be all my goals, everything on one. But on the other one, it was a Nik Mirror. And what I did was, I was like, this is the current Nik. Everything that I currently do. And then this is the best version of Nik. This is Ultra Nik. And this Nik, has multiple $1 million revenues. This Nik does all these incredible things.
Yep.
So to segue that back to what you said, I think it's important for everybody at home. You need to visualize the person you want to be. If you need to write it down on your phone, write it down on a mirror, just visualize who that person is. Come up with a prime version of Nik, Ben, or Hadley. Figure out exactly what that person does. Compare it, contrast that person, and how can you get to be that person? Yep. Take the steps to achieve to be that person.
Visualize where your better self would be and then meet them there. This is something I think about all the time on those mornings, especially where I get up and I know I need to go run or need to go to the gym or whatever, and you don't want to do it. But then you think about, okay, where would the ideal Ben be right now? He'd be outside in the driveway with his shoes laced up, with his running lights on, with his podcasting or whatever, getting ready to take off down the driveway. But I'm still in here in bed when Ben 2.0 or whatever you want to call it is already out there waiting for me. So just whatever that is for you, for me, that's some of the things I think about. But go meet your better self where they would be right now.
You have to be able to envision it. I feel like if you can't see yourself where you want to be, you'll never get there.
Nope.
You have to be able to manifest it for yourself and be able to see it.
It's very true.
You have to.
So for some of these things that you use to build self-confidence, because I think that's another key point that we need to talk about and dive into a little more, is you have to be able to believe in yourself more than anybody else is ever going to believe in you.
Yep.
What are some of the things that you did, other than you said you did a lot of running, a lot of lifting?
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you would do, if you can give us examples, to build that self-confidence and prove to yourself that you can do what you say you're going to do?
What gets tracked gets improved. So especially with things like running or anything, track it. Use a Google Sheet, use a piece of paper. It doesn't matter what it is. The way that you can continue to believe in yourself and build that confidence is by proving that you've improved incrementally. And the only way you can really know that that's happening is if you're keeping track of it. So whether that be how many miles you ran this week and then comparing that to the last week, what your business revenue was this week, how many discovery calls you got in this week compared to the last week. A lot of those things really come into play for me. Did I do my devotional this morning? Did I read this morning? Did I pray this morning? There's a lot of different habits to put into place. And there will always be some level of where you go a little too far or you spread yourself too thin and you try too many things. Like there was a point in time where I was doing every single morning, like, okay, I'm doing my prayers, I'm doing my devotional, I'm stretching, I'm doing affirmations, I'm journaling, like 5 or 6 different things, like even before I'm going to the gym. And it got to the point where I was doing them for the sake of like this personal development, like ritual or rain dance, not necessarily doing them for the benefits that they have. So I think there's a slippery slope there too. Yeah. And it's kind of finding what the things are that work for you that fill your cup, especially at the beginning of the day, and then tapping into those and doing those a little more. And really for me now, it's journaling is one of the main ones, and then like starting the day with like faith and doing devotionals too are the two ones that I really focus on.
So God plays a huge role.
Huge role. Biggest role that there is.
We talk about that a lot on here too, God, and we truly believe in that too.
Important. I wouldn't want to sit down with anybody at these couches if they didn't believe in God.
100%.
Yeah.
Because
Amen.
that is a driving factor, not only to be a good person, but to do good in life.
Yep.
And I think if you don't answer to somebody, you answer to nobody.
That's true.
And at that point, we can't sit at these couches and talk.
And I think faith plays into wishful thinking as well.
Absolutely.
They're like one and the same, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I like to segue off of what he was saying earlier too, because I really think it is big, like to set goals for yourself for the day, because that does build confidence. Because think of it like this, right? If you don't have anything set and planned, I feel like that almost builds anxiety because you're like, what's next?
Yep.
And anxiety leads to not having confidence. So if you have stuff set out and you're just like, all right, I'm doing this, you have your course set ahead of you to where you can walk it confidently rather than just being lost in the day and like, what do I do? And all this and that and all, like worrying about the next thing when you already got it planned out, just attack it and do it.
100%.
And that shows with other people who see that too. And you like, oh man, this guy's busy. They're always doing this. They're always making this next step. Like that really shows.
Yeah.
I have my life planned out at least a week in advance.
As you should.
And you have to.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't stick to that, then you're going to fall. You're going to succumb to not achieving those things, especially doing these podcasts, working my business full time, DJing. I mean, you start to get so wrapped into the constant work.
Mm-hmm.
You need to figure out scheduling and dedicating time. And I think that's another big topic is you got to schedule everything accordingly. And
yes.
if you don't know what you're going to do that day,
this.
then what are you doing?
I love this.
So how big is scheduling to you, and what tools do you use to schedule?
Dude, it's such a good question. Your time has to be spoken for. So I want to give you a goal setting framework that I've been using too that helps determine my schedule for the week. So there's a book called The One Thing by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. And there's a framework in there called goal setting to the now. So it's going to, and there's a lot that goes into this to determining what ultimately you want to achieve, and that all these things are going to change a little bit over time. But let's assume that you know what your ultimate goals are. And let's say that that's a ultimate goal. Now let's take that ultimate goal. What do I need to do in the next 5 years to achieve that goal or to stay on track to achieve that goal? Right. And then just keep working back. What do I need to do in the next 3 years to hit that 5-year goal? What do I need to do in the next year to hit that 3-year goal? What do I need to do this quarter to hit my yearly goal? What do I need to do this month? What do I need to do this week? What do I need to do today? Like it literally can go all the way down and make it that granular. So I've been tracking all of those things for a couple of years now, and I'd use very simple things like there's other things out there like Notion and things like that you could pay for, but at the end of the day, you could always just use a Google Doc or a Google Sheet to track all of those things. So I have a sheet, and I do it every single Saturday or Sunday, where I'll go through a goal review. Here's the things that I wanted to attack this week, and all of those things I wanted to attack this week were based off of those other goals that I just talked about. Mm-hmm. So it really helps me determine what do I need to accomplish this week to stay on track, and then I use Google Calendar, and I'll input all of those things and actually block out time to do the things that I am committing to for the week to make sure it actually gets done.
Yep. I mean, I'm the same way. So I use a digital calendar, but I'm also the type of guy to write things out.
Yeah.
On an actual calendar
Well, I do have an actual calendar in my office, whiteboard.
Nice.
That'll be like a month view. I use calendar on my phone because I'm always on the go.
Yes,
and that is synced between all of my accounts. So whenever I add anything to one calendar, it appears on all of my due time blocking.
Nice.
But what really has worked for me is I'm a pen on paper kind of guy.
Sure.
If you came to my office at the house, you can see composition books from 2021 when I was game planning selling a house, what I was going to do with that money.
That's awesome.
I mean, I've got it all on paper. So if you're at home and you want to plan your future life, like you said, visualize the end goal, work backwards, but you got to write it down. You got to find the organizational structure, write it down, put pen on paper, get a Google Docs, get an app on your phone. Notion's a good one. You don't have to pay for it. You know, Notion does cost money, but you can. There's other free things out there, but there's other simple ways to do it. So visualize a goal, work backwards, because hours lead to days, days lead to weeks, weeks lead to months, months lead to years. After a few years, look back at who you were, and then compare and contrast.
Yeah. And people need to take advantage of the tools and the technology that we're given and have, because they don't do it.
Use ChatGPT.
Facts,
Just
bro.
like everything.
Tell ChatGPT. ChatGPT is my best friend. He's employee of the month. Tell
I feel like that's controversial too, because a lot of people say ChatGPT is taking away creativeness and making it too easy for business owners. So what do you think about that too, right?
Well, I'm not going to use it as a creative aspect. I'm talking just from a planning perspective. So, hey, ChatGPT, my goals are this, this, and this. I want to do this, this, and this. List everything out. Then you say, hey, give me a comprehensive timeline of 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 years to achieve those goals.
Yep.
And then break them down month for month. You could have chat do it all. Tweak it to adjust to what you want.
That's it.
But then also tell chat, you got to prompt ChatGPT. You got to prompt these AIs.
Yeah, you do.
Like, hey, chat,
Yes.
I have all these goals. Where can I fail? What are my gray areas in this plan? Where could you see me falling short? What are my shortcomings? And then chat will see, oh, maybe you're spread a little too thin, Nick, doing all these different things,
Right.
or you're going to burn out, or blah, blah, blah. So use ChatGPT if you really have to. That could really help to plan things out.
You're a master prompt engineer.
I am very good at prompting.
Prompt engineering is very important. Garbage in, garbage out.
I'm incredibly good at
You
prompting.
have to be so specific too
100%.
on those things, like, because you can ask it one thing and it'll send you something completely different. You're like, all right, that's not what I had in mind.
So to go back to your question, how do you feel about ChatGPT, AI, creativity, etc.?
Yeah.
The creative aspect definitely scares me a little bit, especially, I don't know if anybody's seen Google's VO3, but I would highly recommend looking it up on
Heard
YouTube.
about that? I haven't looked at it yet.
Look up prompt theory Google VO3 and you'll see all of these AI videos that are being created now using AI, and you can't tell that it's AI, which is crazy. Like a dude at a comedy club, people on a boat, all these different things. I even saw a video recently of like a Sasquatch vlogging, and it like looked completely real. It was crazy.
And the craziest thing is, what did Nick say? What's the rule of thumb with the government? Is that, yeah, go ahead.
Their technology, they've had it 40 years before us.
Really? You think that?
That's what they say.
Wow.
So
imagine,
so
yeah.
if our capabilities of AI are this, imagine what they can do.
Imagine what they have been doing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about. I do worry, like you brought up, Hadley, about the creative aspect.
Yeah.
I do think that the pendulum hopefully is going to swing back, but the way everything's trending right now, I would be nervous if I was someone who relies heavily on creativity, especially as it comes to like video editing, graphic design, things like that, where there's tools now that can do all of that for you. Things like
even marketing, what you're in,
yes,
right?
100%.
AI, somebody can type it in and be like, hey, make me this marketing video, upload it here,
100%.
do this, do that. Like AI can do all that now, but do you think that AI can really, I feel like there's a human interaction and a human instinct that we have that AI can't have ever.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like there's something about, especially like in-person talking, like you need people, you need boots on the ground.
Yes.
You need people going around. You need the face-to-face interaction as well. And you make videos on your Instagram all the time. Like you can't replicate that with AI. That's you sitting there being raw in your room.
It's a personal story.
Right.
I think trust is the big factor. And I think when someone sees a video, and I think a lot of these platforms like Meta or YouTube, etc., there's going to be some sort of legislation, and all this stuff is happening too fast for them to like put all these things in place immediately. But I think there's going to be some sort of legislation where if a video is posted, it has to be labeled as AI generated content clearly. So people will know that going into it. And I think a lot of people, or at least I'm hoping, because I don't want this to take away from creators, even like people like yourself, like an AI generated podcast, people relate to people, other people that are real. And if someone sees a podcast that they know is AI generated, sure, that content that's in that podcast might be helpful, but it's not necessarily relatable,
Right.
because they're not real people on the other end of that. And even with marketing campaigns too, especially working with clients, I think trust is the big factor. There's a lot of things that I do now to help with AI and building marketing campaigns and building plans and doing audience research and all these important things. But I think the strategy that goes behind it is something that's not going to be overtaken by AI. And I think the trust and the relationship that you have with other clients as well is one of the big factors too.
Wow. So we touched a lot of deep, thoughtful, thought-provoking topics. Now, before we segue into your business and the future of Ben Sulka,
Yes, sir.
I think now's an appropriate time to get into the halftime report. So we'll explain to you, everybody at home already knows. Halftime report led by Hadley himself.
Here we go.
10 questions
Here we
can
go.
be completely related or unrelated, and you can answer them to any length. You can decline to answer them if you choose.
Really?
It says more. It says a lot about the person if they decline it. We had a couple declines before. And then I'll sit here and just chime in and commentate on it. So
Let's do it.
you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, sweet. We'll kick it off. We'll kick it off a little simple.
Oh God.
Morning run or late night grind? Which one builds you more?
Morning run all day. I don't do late night grind. I go to sleep at 9 p.m.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't do the late night grind.
Dude, I'm up till like 2 in the morning,
Nik
3 in the morning.
Thoroughly believes in the late night grind. You can survive off 2 hours of sleep.
Well, I'm a late night grind up at. I'll edit, work till 2 or 3 in the morning, and be up at 8 o'clock every single day.
Beast mode.
He does.
It
I think
sucks.
personal development is personal. I think that's
What works
the
for
key
you?
takeaway. What works for you is not going to work for everybody else, but take advantage of what works for you.
So you're going to bed at 9. What time are you waking up? 5.
I wake up at 4.
Wow.
Ooh, one of those.
That's 7 hours of sleep,
That's
though.
beast mode.
That's beast.
But
mode.
that's 7 hours of sleep.
9 o'clock.
That's why I tell people. I know 9 o'clock's early, but people are like, you wake up at 4 during
Kids have to
weekdays.
sleep at 9 o'clock. I'm wrestling.
There you go.
You need to work on that.
Like 7 hours of sleep is good, right?
Yeah.
If you go to sleep at 9 and wake up at 4, you got your 7 hours, and you got 4 hours before the rest of the
That
world's
is
ready
a-
to go.
That takes a lot of discipline, my friend.
That does.
To go to bed at 9 takes a lot of
That-
discipline.
it does.
That's
Wake up at
what takes
4.
more discipline. Planning out the day before and getting to bed on time takes more discipline than waking
I'd
up
like
in
to
the morning.
ask you, how do you put yourself to sleep? Or are you just tired after the whole day? Because I feel like at 9 o'clock I'd be laying there. Like sometimes I'm up at 12 and I'm like, I gotta
Yeah.
go to sleep,
Sure.
and I can't.
I would say that's something the Lord has blessed me with, is a good ability to sleep, but it's also because I've spent the day extending myself in workouts, in business, things that exhaust your mind, that tire me out. And at the end of the day, like when I lay down in bed, I don't use my phone anytime after usually 9. And that keeps me from being stimulated at the end of the day. I think when a lot of people watch TV or sit there on their phone, it's much harder to fall asleep when you do those things before you go to bed.
Well, see, for me, I'll be the guy on my laptop till 2 or 3 in the morning, and then I know I got to be up at 8. I'm like, okay, 2 o'clock's probably pushing it, 3 o'clock's a little too much. I'll go to bed. I'll be so stimulated thinking about everything and anything, and I won't be able to fall asleep even at 3 o'clock in the morning. I have to put on a movie, Netflix or something, because it distracts my mind
Sure.
from
He has to put on
everything else.
Love Island.
I like.
Oh, nice.
I like those fucking. But it's because
There's nothing wrong with that.
because it's such a disparity of a distraction. Like I'm going from high frequencies, numbers, algorithms, and then I just go look at these idiots trying to
And
fuck
it
each other
cools
on
your
TV.
brain. Yeah.
So
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's because I used to fall asleep. I used to fall asleep to shows all the time. And I guess it's a matter of whether because I would watch shows like Breaking Bad and stuff like that before going to sleep, and you get so invested into like a plot line that you want to keep watching episodes. Like that's just me personally.
Gotcha.
But like if you can put on a show and it helps you sleep, like do that.
Yeah, like to me they're just like idiots, and I don't really care. I'm like, haha, and I just go to bed.
But that distracts you from all the things that are going to keep your mind continuing to go
Otherwise,
and
it's like
go.
all night
Oh,
thing.
I know. I'm with you on that 100%.
Box, for sure.
Okay, yeah. So short answer, morning run.
Cool. That was a good one.
All right. What's more important, the brand or the person behind it?
I think the person behind it is the brand.
I agree.
I think personal brand is something that everybody needs to build because people resonate with people. They don't resonate with brands. There's your answer.
And you could take the person and plop them into any brand, which is why you have sponsorship deals like
That's exactly
Prime,
right.
Curry.
But I do think that there's limitations to that. For example, if my business is SulkaSearch, and does that commit me to having to be the facing person for the social media account from now perpetually to the end of time? Does that mean that when clients meet with the team and they think that they're like, let's say I have outside salespeople that are helping me out and they think they're going to meet with Ben Sulka because it's SulkaSearch and I'm not on that call because I've gone beyond that at this point. I'm working on my business and not in my business as much. I mean, there's definitely some limitations to that too.
Let me hit it with a different perspective too. So like, I'm thinking more like, what if the person isn't very outgoing? He's more pulled back, kind of an introvert type of guy.
Sure.
But he has an outgoing big business.
Yeah.
That he can kind of put front out as a facade. And if the business is doing well, does it really matter how the person behind the scenes is as a person?
No, I don't think so. I think it could go either way. I think the business plan does come down to the businessman, though, to a certain extent. And I don't think you necessarily need to be outgoing or anything like that to build a large brand, but it's all about having those fundamental business skills and having an understanding of those things.
You don't necessarily have one-liners. I like your one-liners. He hit us with a few good ones.
Like what?
The business plan is the businessman.
There you go.
Like what?
Like what? Just rolling off his tongue. All right.
I watch a lot of podcasts. I love it.
I do watch a lot of these. Most of this stuff is probably just buried in my subconscious mind from another pod. But I don't ever say anything that I don't actually agree with or believe.
What is the biggest red flag you see in new entrepreneurs?
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Probably thinking that it's going to come quick and easy. We talked about this before. It's this ongoing process where at the beginning you're going to be excited, like, okay, I'm jumping into this on my own. I'm an entrepreneur, all these things. Like, you're telling your friends, you're telling your family, whatever. And inevitably, crap hits the fan because that's just what happens. And there's going to be this downward, I can't remember, it's called the pit of despair, I think is what it's called. There's like a diagram. If you look up on Google Images, for example, like the entrepreneur journey, where you start off, you're excited, and then you're like, oh, crap, this kind of sucks. And then, oh, this really sucks. Like, things are getting really hard. But inevitably,
it's a roller coaster.
You start the uphill from there. And there's going to be little dips along the way. But I think people just think that they have the expectation that it's going to be easy. But if you have the expectation that it's going to be hard, and it is hard, then the expectation just met reality. That's all that happened. You won't necessarily have a false expectation, which won't discourage you.
I think people give up too early.
100%.
You know, to segue off of that, you know, they say you work your whole life to become an overnight success.
That's it.
You know, so
that's literally
the truth.
You can't just give it 1 or 2 years. Like this podcast, we're 2, 3, 4 months in, 150 subscribers. If I were to stop now because I don't have 1 million,
right,
I'll never get there.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Don't even worry about those things.
You got to push through the trials and tribulations. You got to give it a fighting chance. It's gonna take time. Everything's gonna take time.
Dude, 100%. Yeah, the 10-year overnight success. And I think a lot of the people that we see, and I'm not like super on social media or paying attention to pop culture or anything like that, but a lot of the brands that you're seeing, take like, and I looked into this earlier. Do you guys know Nothing Bundt Cakes?
Yes.
Amazing, right? And seems like they just kind of came out of nowhere over the last 4 or 5 years. They've been around since 1997.
There you go.
Since 1997. And a lot of people don't know either about Amazon. Amazon is like 30, 40-year-old company.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Stanley Cups. They've been around since like the 80s.
That's right. That's another one. So you never know when you're going to hit your big break, which makes it difficult, especially with social media, because you see these 18, 19, 20-year-old millionaires, people who hit it. And go back to the faith aspect of things, and it's difficult, but not everybody has the same path or the same timeline at all. But social media exacerbates that when you see other people getting after it, flexing it. But at the same time with social media, you're also seeing people's highlight reel, and you're not seeing that pit of despair.
Never seeing anything bad.
That's right.
Yep, I agree. So very well put.
All right, number 4. Would you rather have your ideal perfect body, but you would be broke, or a disgusting dad bod, but you're making, $1 million a month? Hey, not to be mistaken with my body. I am a father, but I don't have a dad bod.
That's a great question.
Right.
That's a really good question. I would say dad bod, but $1 million a month, because I think, am I still like me? Like,
you're still you.
Okay, then definitely, because I have.
But you're indefinitely like that.
Oh, indefinitely. So I can't even use the money to
Nope.
pay for personal training.
You're either rich with that type of body, or you have your best body, but you're going to be living basically check to check the rest of your life.
I know my answer.
So you said dad bod, right?
Yeah,
I'm
which
cool
isn't
with
too
that.
bad. I'm not saying
No, dad bod. There's nothing wrong with dad bod.
Right? Maybe like a little.
I would go with that. I would take that. I would take the money.
I'm already dad bod style. Like, give me $1 million right now. I'm cool.
No, dad bod is like sloppy though. Like, you know what I'm talking about.
Dude, but some girls like dad bods.
Some they do.
I don't know if my fiance does.
Most
But.
girls like fit guys, but you could. I would take that all day. Give me $1 million right now. I'll be cool.
Yeah.
I don't care about any of that because you could
have the money.
You could have the money, do whatever the fuck you want. The girls
But
don't.
then
Even,
I would kind of like.
girls
It
really
doesn't
only
matter.
care
Do
about
I
fun.
still get to have my fiance? Like if I have this dad bod? Okay, then yeah, for
she
sure.
would be
Because it
willing
doesn't
to keep
matter.
you? Would she
No, she would. She would.
You would?
Yeah.
That's
You've had that conversation. I feel like that's a conversation
used to
before
be
you
like-
get
yeah.
engaged. It's like, hey, if I let myself
Yeah,
go.
dude. I used to be same height as I am now, but like 40 pounds lighter.
I would say this though. I feel like there's a difference between letting yourself go when you get older and something just medically happening to where like you
Sure.
can't do it. That's a big difference. Because I would say, if my girlfriend, for instance, I plan on proposing and getting married to. this woman as
You're
well.
willing to put that on the air?
I'm willing to put that on the
Does
air.
she watch the podcast?
She watches the podcast.
Okay, so
She knows. But I like we had that conversation
bold move.
like we both are on the same thing. Like if we let ourselves go, if we ever get to that point, because we're like on top of each other.
Yes,
with
sir.
everything. That's how you have to have your
Have
significant
to.
other. You guys got to be boom, boom. Like you got to handle this, got to handle this. Like we're
Yeah.
really blunt with each other and just open. So like that was one of our things. Like we can't let ourselves go and just get trapped in that
Cool.
comfort. 'Cause
Yeah.
a lot of people get trapped in that comfort and then
I love that though. Accountability is very, very healthy in a
Huge.
relationship.
All right, let's get into the next one. What's one trend on Instagram that you wish would die already?
So I post on Instagram, but I don't use Instagram. I don't scroll social media.
That's good.
Sometimes YouTube Shorts when I'm like taking a crap, but that's literally it. Just to be fully transparent.
And-
Watching videos helps me poop.
This makes sense though because we had B Russ on here. B Russ, he said, "Boys watch content, men create content."
Wow, I like that. Okay. I'm on the right path then, at least I hope. I don't watch any content.
That's good.
Good.
That is. That's
So
huge.
he hopes it all dies. Besides SulkaSearch.
Yeah. Right.
Which influencer would you want to be stuck in an elevator with?
This kind of goes off the last one. Influencer.
You're podcaster guys.
Okay.
right,
That's a
any-
great
any-
question. Probably. Oh, this is good. There's three that I think of. Alex Hermosi. I really like
you like
Alex
that guy?
Hermosi. Yeah, I like Alex Hermosi a lot. Bedros Keuilian. He started Fit Body Bootcamp and Trulian Supplements and some other companies as well. He's an entrepreneur. He's in California. He has like a personal development podcast that I really recommend. Would love to talk to him. And then probably Chris Williamson from Modern Wisdom. I love all three of those guys, and they've had a pretty big influence on my mindset and approach to everything that I do.
That's a good question. I guess for me, I would love to talk and sit down with Joe Rogan.
Yep.
I think he's a very good podcaster. He's very in tune and very broad, and that's how I like to be. I like to know a little bit about everything instead of just hyper focused on one thing. And
Sure.
I think Joe Rogan does that the best of anybody. So Joe Rogan, I'd love to meet Andrew Tate. I think that'd be fucking hilarious.
Where has he been? Does he still post on social media? I know he's on Rumble or something.
Everywhere.
He is, okay, because I'm not on social media, so I don't even know.
He's back.
Okay. What about Goggins? Would you want to meet Goggins? David Goggins?
Ooh,
Goggins would be dope.
I'd love to.
Bro, he was in Cleveland
I know.
saw that.
like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dude, what would you do if you saw him?
Gordon Ramsay was out there.
Are you serious?
Yeah, if I saw David Goggins, I would go run with him.
Would you?
I would try to keep up as long as I can.
Dude, he's a savage,
He would
bro.
just be like, "Ugh," he would start screaming at you.
Like, come on.
So yeah, Joe Rogan, Andrew Tate,
Okay.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk would be cool, but he's
weird.
like way ahead of me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think we would have a lot in common. He's like light years ahead of everybody.
Right.
I could have a conversation with him, I'm sure, and I could comprehend what he's trying to say, but I would find it more interesting to meet like Joe Rogan, Andrew Tate. I think
Okay.
that'd be interesting.
Okay.
Cool.
What about you? What about you?
Me stuck in an elevator with somebody, an influencer.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think it would be funny if I was in an elevator with Kevin Hart and Drewski.
Okay.
What?
I think that would be hilarious.
It would be entertaining in the
It would
elevator.
be very entertaining.
It would. It would be funny. It would be funny as hell, actually.
So I know we would use that as an opportunity like for personal growth, but you would use that as an opportunity for like
Like how long?
this is hilarious or whatever.
This is hilarious. I'm
And I
stuck in
respect
an
that.
elevator.
Okay.
Like I want some entertainment.
That's great.
Being stuck in an elevator would suck. You might be stuck in the elevator with those people and they're freaking out. Like why are we in a freaking
I
elevator right
saved
now?
the
That's
guy
true.
from being stuck in.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Wow.
the guy. That was pretty crazy. I saved a lot of lives in my days.
He is single. Everybody.
Yeah, ladies, if you want me to save your life, I can.
All right. This kind of like plays off of that other one too, but it's a little bit more broad, right?
Sure.
If you could have a dinner with any historical figure, who would it be?
Holy crap, that's a loaded question. There's so many historical figures that I could think of.
Right, that would be sweet.
Napoleon Hill.
That's fucking gas.
That's very gas.
Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill.
That's gas.
Because he has met so many influential people himself. So you could talk to one person and get insight from
That's-
everybody.
That's gas.
That was a phenomenal answer.
Yeah, you want to know
That
who I
was a
would
good
choose?
answer. Who? Historical figure?
Hitler. I just think that would be crazy. You're looking at me like, what? Listen, not because I like Hitler.
I know.
That would just be so crazy. I would want to like.
That would be crazy.
I would like to analyze his mind. Like, what are you thinking? What's the reasoning? I just think that'd be fucking crazy.
I think drugs partly. I'm not like a historian, but I think there was a lot of
I'm sure.
drug usage.
I'm sure. It would just be interesting. It'd be the fucking craziest chat ever.
That's fair.
Talk to Hitler at a dinner table over some spaghetti.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That would be brutal. What kind of book made a huge impact on you, would you say? Because you talk about a lot of books and stuff as well, so I'd like to know.
That's a really great question.
Reader.
The one that I mentioned was really helpful for me to zero in and have a singularity of focus on certain aspects, as well as the goal setting to the now framework was really helpful. I think Think and Grow Rich, obviously, was a very big impact on me financially and helping me realize, like, and things that you talked about earlier about telling yourself you can do things or visualizing it. Like when you try to speak something into existence, things just tend to happen, which is pretty awesome. I would also say 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson is another really, really good book. Just like kind of a base level, like personal development type book. I think his language is sometimes hard to understand. Like you have to read sentences like probably 6 times before you actually understand it. Yeah. But I really liked that book as well. And another book called Wild at Heart by John Eldridge. It's about being a Christian man and the obligation and responsibilities that you have and kind of the perspective around that, which is a really good book. And it's a pretty quick read. It's like 200 pages. Nice. So those 4 are really
You read a lot. What are your favorite?
My favorite books, I'd put Think and Grow Rich in there because I really like that book. I really enjoyed 48 Laws of Power.
Oh, gosh.
That book is incredible. I really recommend that book. And I would almost put in like Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Oh, yes.
That book is huge.
Dude, thank you for saying that. That'd be on my list too.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad is the book that changed my life. That is where I learned everything I'm doing now, and that's what set the course for the man I am today.
Sure.
So 100% Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's the number 1 best-selling personal finance book of all time for a reason.
As it should be.
Yeah.
You know, so if you haven't read that book, make sure you read it. My other 2 books that I would choose are sitting right here. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That's a good one. I don't know if you read that one.
I haven't.
Art of War.
And you know, I
read The Art of War.
I still haven't.
I haven't, but it's Sun Tzu.
Read Art of War.
I have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever read How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie?
It's
a really good book as well.
I haven't read it yet, but I have it.
Okay. I've like all the personal development books on my shelf. I'm just trying to like go.
There's another one called Profit First.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
That's a really good one.
Okay.
A very good one. It's about business, about like putting your money in the right places.
Nice.
It's very financially
okay.
literate. Look like
cool.
It's very cool.
All right.
What number are we on? What question?
I think 6.
Right now we're on 8.
8. Wow, that was wow.
Yeah, this will be 8. So, if you could cancel one buzzword forever, grind, scale, or mindset, which one would it be?
Out of those 3?
Yeah. Unless you have one in your head that you just need to get rid of.
Oh, that's a great question. I hate the word leverage. People always use the word leverage, but honestly, probably mindset.
Really?
Yeah. I don't mind. I use the word grind. Like I use grind in kind of a almost like a tongue-in-cheek way, like we're grinding, baby. Like stuff like that. I don't think it's a bad word, but mindset. There was this book when I was in like, do you guys have to do like school readings, like reading, summer reading? One of the books we had to read, and I honestly wish I would have read it back then because it was probably a good book, is Mindset by Carol Dweck. Mm-hmm. It's like she's a PhD in something. And it's like a scientific approach to having a mindset. It's like growth mindset versus whatever. And just that word mindset is always like stuck in my head because I associate it with like these horrible summer readings that you'd have to do when you're in like middle school or high school. So I've always like, and I use that word too, but.
Those are brutal, the summer readings. I never did them. I think I got like Cliff
Shout out to Cliff Notes, Spark Notes.
I got back into the
Dude,
year.
Imagine ChatGPT with summer readings.
ChatGPT back then. On this summer reading, write me an essay.
I would not be sitting in this room right now.
You know, I think that mindset is probably what I would choose also because, in a way, I think mindset's fake.
Okay.
Because you either have it or you don't.
Sure.
You know, and that goes for anything. And you can alter your mindset. You can sharpen your mindset. But really, at the end of the day, you either have what it takes or you don't. You either have the get to the gab or you don't. You either know what you got to do or you don't.
But you said mindset is fake. What do you mean by that? Because I feel like mindset
because
means
mindset is such
set,
a
though. Like
it's
set.
It's such a buzzword that these people use as capitalistic gains. They use it as a way to, like, oh, come join my course. We'll teach you how to build an iron mindset. We'll teach you how to do this, do this, do this.
I see what you're saying.
I think it's weaponized for financial gain.
Okay.
Where, like for me, I would never do one of those courses. Like
I've never.
I wouldn't like Andrew Tate's Hustle University. I wouldn't do a.
Oh, he has a
Cardone
course. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that.
All these.
I know.
guys.
I'm not in that space
I would never
at
do
all.
any of them.
Just read a book. It's $20.
Because you could read a book, or YouTube. There's all this stuff.
Oh
on
my
YouTube.
God.
Or go out and meet people. Find the person that knows what you need.
That's it.
If I need advertising, I'm gonna hit up Ben Sulka, a guy that I met. I'm not gonna take a course on advertising.
Thank you.
You know, so it's like it's fake to me because you either got it or you don't. If you don't know something, you figure out the answer. If you need something done, you find the person who can get it done. If you need to achieve something, you just do it. Nike's $1 billion company coined off of 3 words. Just do it.
Yeah, I think that's a fair explanation.
So that's what I think.
Okay.
Where's your dream vacation? Where would you go? What would you do?
So in terms of spots, my fiance does stuff like this all the time, like research on the internet. As long as I got the people that I love and care about, that's really all that matters to me. I'm not worried about where we're going, where we're staying. As long as I'm on my own schedule and I'm with the people that I love and love spending time with, I don't have any particular locations in mind.
What a wholesome answer.
That was a beautiful
That was
answer.
good.
Thanks, man.
That was good. What about you?
Honestly, like first thing that came to my head is like Egypt, going to see the pyramids.
That'd be cool.
Like I think that would just be sweet. I think that'd be a sick vlog. Like that's where my mind went.
Yeah. I mean, I'm similar to Ben. I can go anywhere and do anything and have a good time with anybody. But as long as I'm with the people I care about, I've seen a lot of the big places. I've been to Paris. I've been to Barcelona.
Oh, nice.
Everything's great. But I would want to go to Dubai.
Dubai,
That
okay.
would be killer.
Dubai would be cool. But
Sweet.
Even just like in country, you want to know what I've been thinking of a lot? I'd really like to go to the Grand Canyon.
Okay.
Like, I'd love
I've
to
been.
go see that. I think that would just
You've
be
been?
sweet.
I have.
What was it?
It's pretty cool. It's like you get there and you look at it, and unless you're like doing a hiking trip or something like that, like you go and look at different angles. Honestly, Grand Canyon, low-key overhyped.
Is
Really?
it?
Yeah.
Now I have a question. Can you get down in the Grand
Yes,
Canyon?
I believe you can.
Before?
Yeah, so I didn't do that. But if you just
Exactly.
come there to like look at it, and then you look at it from like a different angle, and like a different angle, it's like, okay, it's like once you look at it once, it's like, this is amazing. Like this is incomprehensible how big this freaking canyon
How big
is.
is it? Like, do
Dude.
you see side to side or?
I don't know.
It's big.
Yes, but it's big.
grand.
It's very grand. It is grand.
There's a split.
This
in the
is
earth.
true. It's really cool though, and I would highly recommend going to see it. But
least
like, don't go out there just to see the Grand Canyon. Like, have other like places that you're going to plan to
Yeah.
visit. At least
Make it a
that
little
was my
road.
experience.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, yeah, you're not going there. Like, it's probably what a hour max. You'll be there. Like,
Right, and then you're like, okay, I'm looking at it from this angle, and it looks. Unless you're going on, like I said, on a hiking trip, but
That would
you
be-
might
I
not
think
come
that
out of the
would be
Grand
sweet.
Canyon if you do that,
I think that would just be awesome though.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Inside the Grand Canyon or like bungee jumping in it.
dude. That'd be crazy.
Insane. If you could choose one song right now that would be the soundtrack for your life.
Oh God,
I like giving this question to people because I like to hear their.
that's a great question. Does it necessarily have to relate to my life, or it would just be like a kind of a sick
Just like,
soundtrack to have?
If you were going out, you're starting your day and you're about to do your thing, what's playing?
Oh my
What's playing
gosh,
in
it
your
would be something 70s soul like Motown, but I swear to God, I don't know what though. "Close the Door" by Teddy Pendergrass first came to mind. I just love that song. It's
Never heard that.
it's a really really good song. I highly recommend Teddy. But any of those like uplifting, I really like Marvin Gaye too.
Marvin
Gaye.
Gaye.
Isley Brothers are fantastic. Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard "Fantasy" by Earth, Wind, and Fire? If you want a really uplifting song, no, dude, listen
I'm
to that.
really
song.
into music too. Like I like all genres, very versatile. Like I listen to everything.
I would say "Fantasy" by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Honestly,
Really,
that's the song out there.
Fantasy by
I
Earth,
have to
Wind,
listen to
and Fire.
that now.
Yeah,
You have to.
I'm gonna listen to it after this podcast.
You should.
I will.
Is that question 10?
That was 10.
Okay.
We
Good
spent-
halftime report.
That was a good halftime
Okay.
report.
You said you're going to make us cry.
I know.
Happy tears.
He has the tissues over there,
I have the
unless he's
tissues. I keep
saving
them
those
on
for
me.
something else.
Sinuses.
So to kind of wrap up the second half here. We'll get to the second half. Excellent job, by the way. You're very, you answer very well. You held
Very
yourself
well
well.
spoken.
So
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
so walk us through SulkaSearch.
I'd love to.
What are you guys doing over there, and what's the vision of SulkaSearch?
So what we're doing, so we help e-commerce brands. So anybody who sells physical products online, could be an Amazon store, could be Shopify. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of Shopify. Maybe you guys will get Shopify as a sponsor for the show one day. But
I would do it.
we help them scale across Meta, so Facebook and Instagram. And for people who don't know paid ads or understand advertising, Meta, Google, TikTok, Amazon, Reddit, Snapchat, all these platforms have an advertising platform. So a business would create an account and they could spend money to create advertising campaigns on these platforms. So we only operate on TikTok, Amazon, Google, and Meta. And we only work with e-commerce brands, which, like I just mentioned, and we only work with e-com brands doing 50K plus per month, which makes it more scalable for us and makes it a little bit easier to
50K plus in revenue.
Top line sales per month.
Okay.
Yep. That's kind of what we found to be our sweet spots. That's what we're kind of like trying to zero into. But we help them build their brand. We help them find new customers and just grow their company, grow particular products that they're trying to sell, help them differentiate their offer or their brand from other competitors or other companies in the space.
Would you say it's almost like a marketing agency?
Yeah, I don't like to use the word agency, and like that's like the word like people would understand, but I really call it a paid media partner. So paid media is like any paid advertising. Right. The reason I call us a partner is because we like to focus on long-term growth and actually like building a partnership with clients, like where we have mutual interests, where incentives are aligned. A lot of normal agencies will kind of sell them on a service and then do a bait and switch where they'll have some sort of intern or they're freelancing somebody from overseas to hold on or to handle the account. Yep. That's not what we do at all. Does it make it less scalable for me? Yes, but like we talked about earlier, that trust factor is so much more important. And anybody who I hire on the team, I want to be an A player. So that's why it's like a partnership. Like you're going to get the best of our guys running your campaigns.
So you're building relationships with
That's exactly right.
And keeping them around so you can further do it.
That's exactly right.
I think that should be the goal of business anywhere. People do business with people they like.
Yep.
So you want to build those relationships with that client, but why would you want to give them up? We're young. We want to have this company grow and be huge.
Right.
We need those long-term business relationships.
Right.
So how many people do you have working with you right now?
In terms of employees or clients?
Both.
So we have 7 clients, I think, right now. I just had a call with somebody 2 days ago to potentially bring on another account, which could lead to a couple more. So it's like this gradual compounding. But we have 7 accounts, and we have no full-time employees yet, but we have 4 part-time employees, maybe 5, and I'm looking to hire another person now too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what do you have your part-time people doing?
So I have 2 virtual assistants. One helps with the social media account. So if you ever see anything I post on social media, all the content is created by me. I use AI to like help put together structures and things like that, but anything that you actually see physically written or anything that I'm saying is all directly from me.
Nice.
And that could be a bottleneck or that could be a limitation, but I think the creative aspect is really important for the trust building things, like I said.
Absolutely.
And I don't want clients to watch my content and see that it's like some ChatGPT generated crap. Like you're working with a guy who really understands paid ads, really understands e-commerce, all these things. So I have 2 virtual assistants. One helps with admin work and like SOPs. She helps manage my email, helps schedule out things. One of the things I would really recommend if you're a new business owner is find those things that are eating up a lot of your time that aren't paying you very much and delegating those ones first and then kind of move. Exactly. That's exactly right. And you might be able to hire ChatGPT at some point, like you said, AI assistants. But then I also have a couple contractors who help with like the client execution work, which is like helping come up with advertising strategies, managing the campaigns across all the platforms, managing budgets, client communication, updating them on a weekly basis. All these things that are really important for maintaining the relationship and for performance too.
So it sounds like you're growing. You guys are growing at a good pace.
Yes, we are. And a lot of it has been because I haven't paid myself since March. So since we started the business, could I be paying myself right now? Yes. But I'd rather invest that into the business, build up the business bank account a little bit, hire on talent so that I can give the clients the best service that I possibly can, like bringing on new analytics tools or reporting tools for clients and having the money to hire on A players that are going to keep clients around because they know they have experts managing their stuff and the results are going to be better. So I'd rather pay somebody a little bit more to have results that are 2, 3, 4, 5 times better. Right. And that's just what makes sense to me.
So wait, when did you start this business?
February of 2024.
February of 2024.
Yes, sir.
You're not listening. I knew that.
Hey, come on, Hadley.
Come on.
Hey,
you're going to make me cry. Give me those tissues.
This is some refreshers.
February 2024.
February 2024. Wow. So
there's a lot of marketing agencies out there. It's like
tons.
It's like almost trending to start your own digital marketing agency.
Yes.
How can somebody at home differentiate a good agency, a personalized agency, versus just another number in the game?
That's a really great question. I think a lot of it comes down to just being fully transparent from the get-go. And we plan on running like advertising for the agency itself and using a lot of those things as like calling out the pain points. Like, you've worked with an agency before who only sent you a monthly report and like didn't keep you top of mind on all these things that are going on. So it's like trying to find a way to communicate those things to clients or potential business, where it's like, you're going to be updated on a weekly basis on everything that's going on. There's fully transparent communication. A lot of things that other agencies just don't do, but could do pretty easily. So it honestly makes my job easier to differentiate and just positioning us as a partner for the long term. I don't think a lot of people are using that sort of verbiage as it comes to agencies at all.
Yeah, it seems like people are so focused on short-term gratification,
instant
gratification. Nobody really thinks about the long-term benefits of creating relationships and business goals. So I do think you're on the right track with that, because not a lot of people our age are even focused on that at all.
Nobody has patience nowadays.
Yeah.
Everybody's lost patience.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the personal development stuff has helped me develop patience. Like, if you're a lifter, if you're a runner, like when you start going to the gym, you're not going to see the results of the pain that you're suffering through for 3, 6, 12 months. And you got to eat clean and all these other things. Yeah. So it's like doing the same thing and applying that principle to my business too.
Very good. So how did you choose the niche of just being, digital products or digital stores for products?
Yeah. So when I first started the business, I was working with a friend of mine who has an e-commerce business called Blackline Car Care. So if you ever need any like car detailing products or anything like that, it's a really great company. They make fantastic stuff. It's really designed to like the luxury market, like luxury cars, but the products that they have are applicable across the board. So I started working with him and helping manage his Google Ads account. He's an e-com brand. And I realized like, I really like this. And the turnaround is a little bit more instant. Like when you're advertising something, you have a better understanding if something's effective or not pretty quickly. Because if you're advertising a $40, $50, $60 product, whatever, your volume is going to be so much more than if you're advertising for a B2B software as a service company that has an average order value of $2 million. Like, you're not seeing that type of volume.
Right.
So it's been more exciting for me. And I think a lot of these brands, like any e-commerce brand that you could think of now, they're just more fun to work with. And like you see a lot of commercials or other advertisements, or you think about like drink brands or clothing brands.
Right.
Like a lot of these companies are just more fun to work with, honestly. So I'm like, this fills my cup more. I understand it at a high level. And I did some e-com work for the agency that I work for between Cleveland Clinic and quitting my full-time job. So that was fun too.
So what are some of the tools that you use, if you can share some of that proprietary information?
Sure. Tools I use. So I mean, obviously I use the ad managers themselves for all the platforms that we help manage, but we use Google Drive for the business. So it's called Admin Console, like Google Admin Console is what we use to like manage the business. But in terms of like client reporting, we do like have shared Google Drive folders. We use Google Sheets for a lot of stuff. We use Looker Studio as like our analytics platform right now. It's really like interface where we can share it with a client and they can come in and filter by the date range to see what results are. So they can look at results at any time, anywhere, 24 hours a day. So there's always full transparency into that. So if they're going in, they see something's a little off, they can just shoot us a question. So that's like where the transparency comes into things. And then I use ChatGPT a lot to help develop like marketing campaigns. I've never like taken something directly from ChatGPT and like just used it wholesale, but it's really for me is for idea generation and helping like structure and plan ideas out. Huge. It's been really helpful.
Yeah. So how do you see the future of SulkaSearch going?
So the way I see it going is really continuing to invest in people and being patient, planting those seeds and building a foundation like I am right now, going to networking events, talking to different people, building a relationship one person at a time is really the play, and not necessarily trying to just build relationships to get something from somebody. Sure, a relationship could turn into something down the line, but when I'm talking to somebody, I'm not immediately trying to sell them on what I'm trying to do or sell. I think that immediately completely tarnishes the goodwill of your audience or the goodwill of your customer base. If as soon as you're trying to talk to someone, you're immediately trying to do business with them, all these things. It's all about being likable, like you said earlier. And the way to be likable is like how's your family doing? Like, tell me about your family. Tell me about your faith. Like, building rapport with somebody over the long term is much more important. But in terms of long-term goals, I do want to scale it to a $10 million a year company. Like, that's my goal for the business long term. Don't know how long that's going to take. But the goal by end of year is to get it to $50K a month top line, and then go from there, which would put me in a good spot. I could probably start paying myself again.
I think you'd probably be able to pay yourself by then.
I hope so.
Do you think to get to that $50K a month and then that $10 million a year revenue, will you have to diversify your product offerings? Like, will you have to broaden your niche?
It's a great question. All things that I'm thinking about, because when, especially bigger clients, they don't want to have like a whole bunch of different agencies that they're working with. Like, we got these guys for paid ads, and then we got these guys for SEO, we got these guys for building the website, we got these guys for like optimizing our product feed or whatever. I think there are some limitations there, and going to figure that out when it gets to that point. I do imagine I'm going to have to bring on additional offerings into the business for sure to get to that point. But as it stands, like really focusing on paid ads, I think as we diversify across multiple platforms, it allows us to bring on other clients. Like, we can handle Amazon focused stuff. We can handle TikTok and TikTok shop focused stuff. We can handle Meta focused stuff. We can handle Google focused stuff. It gives us that diversity of clients. Like, sometimes we'll get a client that wants to do Google ads only, that brings in revenue, that wants to do TikTok only, whatever it may be. But I do think at some point, like, having some sort of general, and it would all be e-com focused, like general e-com strategy as part of the package as well, or like Amazon listing development, conversion rate optimization on the website, all things that help with paid ads, but aren't necessarily like just managing paid ads.
Right.
I think.
And if there were to be a service that you could add in the next year that you know would help generate more revenue, what would that service be?
It would probably be on-site conversion rate optimization on your Shopify store or whatever. So it'd be someone coming into the website and updating your landing pages or updating your website, the structure of your website in a way that's going to bring in more conversions or a higher conversion rate. So to explain what conversion rate is, so if someone clicks on an advertisement, comes to a landing page, and then buys a product, it's essentially the percentage of people who clicked on your ad who converted. So if, let's say, 100 people clicked on your ad, 5 people bought the product, 5% conversion rate. But if you can get that up to 6%, 7%, your profitability increases pretty dramatically from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here, I got something. Ready?
Sure.
Because we did this in the beginning of the Wishful Thinking podcast, but it's kind of been forgotten about. And Nik came up with this, and I think it is a great thing, and I think we should start implementing it back.
Okay.
So, people always tell us their success stories, but what we don't often hear about is the failure stories and how those shape you when you're discouraged and you think things are going wrong, but you come out on the other side better.
Yes, sir.
So give us a failure story about a time where something went wrong, you felt discouraged, but you powered past it and leveled up.
I would love to. So when I started the business in February, and from the time that I started it to building it up to when I quit, it got to a point where I was at about 24, 25K a month. Like, last 30 days, if you look in QuickBooks, it was like 25K, which was a pretty good spot for me there, especially working full time and making $5,000 a month. I was like, okay, we're starting to really get things going. And then a week before I was quitting my job, so I already committed to this agency and told them, hey guys, I'll give you this offloading period or whatever it may be for me to transition to this full-time job. And we put a date, I think it was like March 14th or March 17th or something. And it was already set in stone. Like, he hired someone out to take my position, so there was no turning back. A week before I quit, 2 of my biggest clients leave. Business goes from 25K a month to like 4. Right when I quit my job.
That had to have been a hit right there.
Crazy. Literally went from hero to zero, essentially, a week before I was about to quit my job.
So how did you bounce back from that?
Yes.
Persistence. Just continuing to get up and get after it, no matter how I felt, no matter what the circumstance was. It was like, I know, because I've listened to podcasts, I know from other successful people that if you just keep going, eventually something's going to happen and something's going to develop. And that's what happened. And I think the learnings from that, working with those businesses, helped allow me to scale back up to where I am now, and still working on getting close to that point. But I think people will take a failure or a setback like that and forget about all the benefits that came from that. And it's honestly turned out to be a blessing for me, because I found myself, when that business was going to leave, like compromising a little bit and saying, hey, we keep you on for this, and like drastically discounting my pricing to try to keep them on, which now looking back on it would have been detrimental to me because I wouldn't have been able to hire on employees at certain rates. Like we would have been drastically undercharging this client. So I think looking back, it was a blessing that it happened. But at the time, it definitely didn't.
It sucked.
It sucked.
Yeah,
it sucked.
100%. We've been talking a lot about faith too, so I'd like to like kind of go off of that as well, because I think what a lot of people don't understand is, right, say you pray to God.
Yes.
You're like, you know, God, give me courage. God, give me loyalty. You know, give me this, give me that. Make me not scared. He doesn't necessarily give you that, but he gives you the opportunity to do so.
That's it. There's so much free will.
You know what I mean?
Part of
So
it.
not will he, you know, give me courage. He'll put you in a situation to where you have to be courageous
That's for sure.
in that time.
So
I feel like that's kind of what happened.
So the key themes in all this is remain persistent, remain optimistic, have faith in God, and just keep pushing through, because when things are going good, that's when you need to realize, okay, something's about to happen.
This too shall pass.
It doesn't go good always forever. There's always going to be something that happens.
I'm so glad you said that, because it's the same thing for both ways. Like when things are going really bad, it's not always going to be this way. When things are going really good, it's not always going to be this way. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. And back to I wanted to say one more thing about the faith side of things. I think people underestimate the power that the devil has as well. So we talk about God, but we don't think about the other end of this, especially when things like that, things hit the fan. The devil wants to seep in when you're the most vulnerable, I think. Yeah. And what we don't realize is the devil has a lot of ability, but the devil has no authority. So if we can have God on our side and say, like, no, devil, you will come no further.
Right.
You're going to put a stop to that. But I think when we're vulnerable, that's when our faith starts to wane a little bit, when we honestly need it to be the strongest.
And that's almost like that instant gratification type of dealio thing that is too.
That's
I
it.
believe that's the devil as well. You know what I mean? Here,
Yep.
take this right now. You'll be happy now, but then you'll forget the long term.
Agreed. I think God has promises for all of us, but it's not going to, those promises aren't going to come overnight, and they're not going to come unless you go through trials and tribulations and are battle tested.
You have to prove yourself.
You have to.
And you have to cleanse your own spirit and carve the path.
Yep.
Essentially, you know what I mean? He might set the destination point for you, but you got to walk there.
There's no way around it, man.
Nope.
There's no way around the work. There's no way around the troughs.
So the future of Ben Sulka as a person.
Sure.
You're engaged, soon to be married.
Yes, I'm getting married in
Congratulations,
October.
by the way, again.
Thank you.
I know I
Kids
said
in
it.
your future.
Absolutely.
He said he wants 4.
I do want 4.
Good man.
I do. I love kids. I think kids is one of the main purposes in life. And I don't want to disrespect anybody who doesn't have kids, but I think one of the main reasons we were put on this world is to, like, let's keep things going.
Yeah, I
Let's
agree.
continue. And if you want to have a personal legacy or whatever too, like, find a way to tap into some young ones as well with what you've learned and do your thing that way. But yeah, getting married on October 11th.
Nice.
So few months from now.
You're still going to keep waking up at 4 a.m.,
Yes, sir.
going to bed at 9?
Yes, sir.
Still
At least
running?
during the week. Oh yeah. So it's funny you say that. This past week was probably the biggest running week of my life. I ran 5 half marathons this week
What?
in 1 week. Unofficial, just like running around Lakewood or whatever, but
That's even
5
crazier.
marathons.
You're a
I
savage.
get no
5
medals
half
for that.
marathons. No medals. No medals. But I have some races upcoming.
Have you done a full?
I have. I did the Cleveland full in May. 3 hours,
time on
23 hours, 27 minutes or something.
Fucking moving, dude.
It wasn't bad, but dude, like
What was your mile pace? You said?
7:53, I think.
It's very good.
Thanks, man.
7:53 for a full marathon.
That's very good.
It's impressive.
That's running.
I'll take it.
Literally.
I learned so much from it, though. Things that I'm going to apply to future marathons, and I'm confident that I'm going to shatter that.
The thing that I miss most about running is the gratification you get in yourself at that finish line.
That's it.
And you're like, I worked for this. I trained for this. I just put my body through hell for a half marathon.
Yeah.
It was brutal. There were a million times every step I wanted to stop. I was in so much pain, and you just kept going.
I know. There's so much pride in that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's an amazing feeling.
Freaking miss it, dude. We might have to get back to it, Hadley.
We could go jog a 5K.
If you got back in it with me, I would.
You want to do a
disagree.
5K? I would love to do a 5K.
I would do a 5K.
We couldn't do a 5K with you because
You would just burn us, Ben. You'd be done in 20 minutes.
4-minute paces and
4 minutes. No, dude, there's some savages out there. When you go to these big races, you'll realize like even I've been humbled a lot, and I came into it like I'm a very humble person. Like there's so much humility. I think faith plays into that too. But you'll see people like I think the dude who won the Cleveland Marathon this year ran at like low fives pace for the entire race.
Wow.
Like ran it in 2 hours and 19 minutes or something. And I'm like,
It's insane.
or no, less than that. No, 2 hours and 19 minutes. And I think mine was 3:27, I said.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
For you, dude.
I almost PR'd the first half of it, which
You
is
doing
part of
any
the reason.
ultras?
No ultras. I do have a trail marathon at the end of this month on the 27th. And for those who don't understand trail races, and I didn't understand trail races,
Whole different beast.
Oh, different.
it's a completely different beast. And I was like, oh, we're just going to be running on like a gravel path through the forest. That's not what it is at all. You're literally running like dirt and running over trees and like over bridges and
Jump over
creeks,
stuff and then
climbing on roots and crap.
Yeah.
So my pace, I just ran a 15 miler a couple weeks ago in like Peninsula, Ohio or something like that. It's called Buckeye 25K, which is 15 miles. Like my pace was 10-minute miles.
Because of the terrain.
Because it's, and it was so muddy that
lots
day
of
too.
different elevation too, right? It's
Horrible,
like
dude.
Up, down, like just.
It was brutal. But this marathon is going to be tough. It's probably going to take like 5 or 6 hours.
Wow.
If I had to guess.
Would you ever go do like an ultra, like 50 mile, 100 mile, or even like the Ironman?
Oh, dude, asking me that question sitting here comfy on a couch, I would probably say yes. But if you're asking me that like when I'm in the middle of the suck, I'd probably be like no. Like I want
Right
to stop.
after
Like even
the
like this
marathon?
morning, I was like I'm so ready to be done with this week. But I think the natural progression is probably yes. I don't know what it's going to be or what it's going to look like.
You
but
seem to intrinsically like it. Otherwise, you
Yeah.
wouldn't still be doing it.
I was actually talking to my
You like the
dad.
reward.
I like the reward.
I do. That's it. And it applies to so many different things. Like it's not just the running.
It's
like
the
and
discipline.
It's a discipline. That's what it is. And then my dad literally asked me yesterday. He's like, "If you don't like running, why do you do it?" And I was like, "That's a really good question. Let me ponder on that." And I think that's really the answer. It's the discipline that goes into it, and just proving to yourself that you can do
I
something.
just handed him the David Goggins book.
I know. I should stay argument. No, I love my pops. Obviously.
Well, that's amazing, dude. I hope you achieve everything that you're searching for.
Thanks, man.
You're very well spoken. You have a great attitude towards life.
Appreciate you guys.
Great mentality. You're a humble dude, a nice guy, a hard worker, as it's already tried and true.
Thanks, guys.
And
Yes.
from myself and Wishful Thinking Podcast with you, nothing but the utmost success.
Dude, I appreciate that. And the same to you guys. If there's anything I can pray for you guys about, think about you guys for, support you in, always happy
We
to
might
do
be
so.
doing some business soon if you're willing to work with non-e-commerce companies.
So that's a great question. So I actually there is a little bit of an asterisk there because we do have a client or two, like one who is an old friend of mine who's a CMO at a company and he needed some help with something. There's always like specific circumstances where I'll deviate from it, like if it's a really close friend or a business colleague or something like that. But I would say 95% e-com focus is what we're trying to do. Okay. But we do have the skill set to service B2B or lead gen, which is lead gen would be your.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
We'll make something happen.
We should.
Wishful Thinkers, as always, we appreciate you guys for tuning in.
But before we wrap it up,
Damn it.
let's grab the book of the life.
I'm the worst co-host to
You're
exist.
good. That's why I'm here. I'm keeping you.
So before we wrap up here, there's a segment we do every single episode that
Okay.
I forgot in the past 3 episodes.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
So it's okay, but this is the Complete Life's Little Instruction Book.
Nice.
Random book that I got from Staples. Some bullshit book.
Okay.
But it's a great book, okay?
Yeah, let's not say that. It's a good book.
There are 1,560 line items in this book.
Wow.
So give me a number between 0 and 1,560. Find that line item, read it to us, and we'll discuss it.
Okay. My number is going to be 1,020.
Nice, a big one. You haven't had a big one yet.
Yeah.
My fiance's birthday is October 20th.
Oh,
No, that's beautiful.
very sweet.
Yes.
Shout out to Ben Sulka's fiance. She got a fucking gold mine out of this guy.
No,
I'm sure you guys might watch this together.
she's been with me since day one. Whatever I end up being, it's all genuine. So that's what I love about her. I don't even know what this means. When there's a piano to be moved, don't reach for the stool. I have no idea what that means.
Hold on, let's
Let's
analyze
think
this for
about
a
it for a
second.
When there's a
second, yeah.
piano to
There's a piano to be moved. Don't reach for the
Oh, it means like when there's work that needs to be done, don't go for the stool to sit on the stool and don't do any work.
Yes.
I think that's what that means.
That is
right?
That's got to be what it means.
Like when you
There's
need
a
to carry a
to be
piano.
moved, don't grab the stool. The stool's the lightest thing. That's what kind of what I got.
Yeah,
out of it.
right.
Like grab.
Don't go for the easy thing.
That's it.
But that almost goes hand in hand too. Like you're grabbing. It's like a double entendre. Like grabbing the stool. You know what I mean? Like grabbing the stool.
Yeah.
You could take a seat, or you're giving yourself an easy way out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
You got to move the piano. Don't go for the easiest part. Just Look the devil in the eye.
That's it.
Go right for the hardest aspect of it.
Dude, that's actually very fitting after we broke that down.
That's why I love this
was
book.
crazy,
Every
Hard
number,
first, man.
the random numbers, they never fail. It's a good book. I recommend it.
Shout out to
Yeah, it's cool.
1020.
So, as always, Wishful Thinkers, now I can give you the exit monologue.
Yes.
We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody for tuning in always. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You don't want to miss another episode. We have a ton of stuff coming. Make sure you tune in to Ben Sulka. We'll put all of his information down below. We'll put the website. We'll put the social medias. We'll put everything in there for you.
Thanks, guys.
So if you guys have any digital marketing needs, anything that Ben can help out with, he's a great guy. He will take care of you fully.
If you're an e-com brand doing 50K plus.
If you're an e-com brand, the asterisk is only applicable to people like me. So if you are,
This is true.
if you are an e-com brand doing
50K plus per month, top line sales.
top line,
And you're highly ambitious.
and he doesn't work with bums. Okay, so if you're highly ambitious, but if they're making 50K a month,
They got to be pretty ambitious.
Well, you'd be surprised, honestly.
I believe that.
Yeah.
So, as always, guys, we appreciate every one of you guys. Make sure you guys enjoy yourselves and make sure you tune into the next episode.
Yep.
Out.